Some years ago, I was friendly with a man who was quite a successful local artist. And one day he told me something of his story. He lived in a South Wales Valleys town, worked in a factory, and on his days off he used to cycle out into the country and look for some pretty scenery, or maybe an ancient parish church or a picturesque thatched cottage, and there he would set up his easel and draw it. And then one day he had a new idea. Instead of travelling out into the country, he started looking around in his own neighbourhood and started drawing things like rows of workers' cottages with washing hanging on the line, and coal mines with their winding gear, and empty trucks lying around. And these pictures started to sell, because when people looked at them, they saw things that were familiar in their own world, and they realised that these too could be objects of art, that they did have a beauty of their own. And that really is what artists do. They see something in things that most of us don't notice, and then they share what they see with us and inspire us to see things in the same way. I think faith is a bit like that. Faith is a matter of seeing. We often think of faith as believing in certain doctrines, or at least signing up to them because we feel that we ought to believe them, because we've been taught them. And when people try to convert others to their faith, they try to do it by presenting evidence and going into rational arguments. But how many people have ever come to faith through argument? And if they have, what kind of faith is that? Often it's a very dead and dull thing, something that's in the head and not in the heart. I think that real faith, the kind of faith that really impacts your life and makes you passionate, is more a matter of seeing. The Gospel reading for this coming Sunday is from the first chapter of John. And it's worth reading the whole chapter and noticing how many times it uses words like see and look, or in the old-fashioned language, behold. I've counted at least 14 times. The Word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we saw his glory. John the Baptist points out Jesus to his disciples and says, behold the Lamb of God. And two of them follow Jesus, and when they ask him where he is staying, he says, come and see. And then Philip goes to his friend Nathanael and tells him about Jesus, and Nathanael says, can anything good come out of Nazareth? And Philip's answer is, come and see. Surely that's always the best answer to blind prejudice. And then when Nathanael comes to Jesus, Jesus says to him, you'll see greater things than these. Faith is a journey of discovery. The invitation to faith is not think about it, listen to the arguments, be convinced, believe, and then come. No, it's come and see.